I always persevere. I'm a king. Struggle to survive. Survive the struggle.
Well, my name is Earlene Mac Belcher, and I am known now as Queen Cookie. I lost my grandson 25 years young on February the 18th, 2017. What a difficult day that was. I can remember it like it happened yesterday. Had went out walking that morning, was bragging like I'd like to do, doing live Facebook, letting everybody know that I was exercising because I'm a type 2 diabetic. So I try to share my story with my diabetes on social media. So I was out doing that morning. It must have been about 10 o'clock in February. It was about 50 degrees out. Came home, took a shower, went shopping because I had just won a trip to Disney World through the TV program, The View, the talk show. So I was going out to pick up a few things for my trip and T-shirts, what have you, so that we could travel in them. So on my way back home, I was pulling into my driveway, and before I could even get into the garage, my phone rung in the car. And it was somebody informing me, a family member from New Orleans, because my grandson lived in Texas, was informing me that my grandson had died, had taken his life. Oh my God. Oh my God. I know my neighborhood heard me scream. I wailed. I jumped out of the car. My husband was in the house. He came a-running. What's wrong? And I told him what happened. He said, are you sure about that? Just don't take somebody's word over the phone. I said, I don't think they would call and tell me that, my grandson had died. I guess someone had seen it on Facebook. So I'm laying on the garage floor. I could not even get into the house. I'm just wailing on the floor. And while I was down there, I decided to go on his Facebook page. And there I saw all the condolences. Rest in peace, Ajane. Let me back up and let you know what his name is. His name is Ajane Xavier Jamal Burt. Such a pretty name. He was going to be named Xavier Jamal, but his mother found this name on a TV program somewhere, Ajane. And she asked me, do you like that name? I said, I love it. So she put that as the first name, very unusual. So anyway, when I went on his Facebook page, there are Facebook friends saying, rest in peace, Ajane. I can't believe it. I'm shocked. Rest in peace, rest in peace. And so I have a brother that's, he's retired from law enforcement. So I called him because he has connections, and I told him what had happened. And he said that I'll find that out for you, sis, and get back to you. So within about 15, maybe 20 minutes, he called me back and he said, Ajane is in a morgue in San Antonio, Texas. Oh my God. I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would be told that. But my grandson, bless his heart, his mother took her life at 31. And she was she left 5 children from the ages of 2 months. She just had a baby until his age, which was 12. And my grandson never bounced back from that. His mother was an alcoholic and a drug addict. And she was a domestic violence abuser, aggressor. And he had to live with that, with his siblings. And I just think it got down. It was in his DNA, some of it. And he just couldn't bounce back from his mother taking her life. And out of all 5 children, he was the only one that went into foster care. The other 4 were taken by family members, and I think that was devastating to him. And I suffered with guilt behind it because after the fact, I thought maybe I could have made a difference in this baby's life had me and my husband taken him. And maybe it's a selfish thought, but it's a thought. We had just bought the home that we are living in now, which is in a senior citizens community, and there are no children or teenagers that live here. And I didn't want to go against the grain and the rules. I guess I could have, but I didn't want to be the one to do it, being that we were like the second African Americans that had moved into this community. And you can know, I have a feel at what prejudice is like. Because, during my lifetime, when African Americans moved into a neighborhood, other ethnic groups would say, there goes the neighborhood. And I just didn't want that to be said about us. So I didn't take him, whether it was selfish or not, I don't know, probably was. But at the time, I did the best that I could do. And I supported him from afar. I've been in this baby's life ever since he was born. Taking care of him, helping his mother out with school clothes, always never missed his birthday until 2 months before he died. The Christmas of 2016, I didn't get him a gift because I was in the tough love stage with him at that point. And normally at Christmas, when our grandchildren turn 18, we don't buy them gifts anymore. It's time to look out for Granny and Grandpa. So, but being the fact that he had been incarcerated for 3.5 years due to a domestic violence charge that was put on him, I just kept going past the age of 18 with him only. But that Christmas, I didn't get him anything because I wanted him to change his life. He had started to get into drugs and alcohol as a teenager. After his mother passed away, I found out that he was doing drugs and alcohol, and I would watch him on live Facebooks over drink and do drugs on live Facebook. And so I always felt, during that time, the last, say, year of his life, I was watching him basically self-destruct. He had a lot of emotional pain, depression. And I tried to get him to seek help. I really did. I did a lot from afar. I even tried to get him to move to Ohio from Texas, but that isn't what he wanted because I guess he had made a friend base in Texas. So I did what I could. One of my regrets is when he was 12 years young, he came out of foster care. I got him out of foster care and I brought him to Ohio, to our home, for about 6 to 8 weeks during the summertime. And I could tell he had some emotional problems because that was a year after his mother had passed. And there was some defiance there. And I tried to work with it, but it was difficult for me going on 60 at the time. But I turned around and I sent that baby back to Texas to his foster care. And after he passed, I had regrets of that. I said, now, why did I get him out of foster care to come be with us for the summer, 6 to 8 weeks, and then turn around and send him back to foster care? Why couldn't I have just kept that baby here? This is some of that shoulda, coulda, wish I coulda done more to save his life. But my husband is a witness that I did everything that I could. I mean, I sent that baby boxes and boxes of clothes. When he got his first apartment, I furnished his apartment with towels, sheets, things for his apartment, always sending him money. Just tried to do the best I could without him living with me because I was retired and I didn't want the responsibility of raising my grandson. I thought that his living parent should have taken that responsibility, and I didn't want to take that away from his living parent, which is my son, his father.
Hello, my name is Stanley Burt. I am the father of Ajane, Burt, my son, who was born here in Toledo, Ohio, by his mom, Johanna Schnur. Her son committed suicide about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and family has been dealing with that since. I remember when my son turned 1 and his mom decided to take him to Texas. His mother and I, Johanna, wasn't together, so to speak, like in a marriage type of thing. Our relationship had been up and down. Anyways, when he turned 1, she took him to Texas, which is far from here, to be with her mother's side of the family. And approximately 6 years went by. After the 6 years, she contacted me and we had a conversation, and she felt that it was a good thing that I get to know my son gets to know his father's side of the family. The time I was married, and obviously had to discuss that with my wife, and it was a go. So we got him for the first summer, and I think the following year, she decided that she wanted me to keep him for a while. So we had him for approximately 2 years. From there, after almost 2 years go by, he was homesick and wanted to go back to his mother. And I sat him down, had a talk with him, and asked AJ what he wanted to do, and he said he wanted to go back with his mom. So he goes back, and then I started siphoning stories of problems he was having down there. Poor son ended up in a system where he shouldn't have been. But I totally blame that on myself because I should have tried harder, and it was my my animosity, my anger, my defense mechanism of putting up my wall towards the situation between his mother and I that I put on him as well. He's my first child, first love as far as that it is concerned, and also my biggest what's the word I'm looking for? He's my biggest failure.
Hello out there. My name is Dennison Belcher. I have the pleasure of being married to Ajane's grandmother, Earlene Queen Cookie Mac Belcher. I am one of his many grandfathers. And let me say right off the bat, I miss my grandson. I love him. I'll always love him. He was a very multi-talented young fella. I'm just going to give you some of the thoughts that I have with my interactions with him as I observed him through the time that he was here, okay? He came to visit us one time when he was about 12 or 13 years old, and we went to a baseball game. Went to see the Mud Hens play here in Toledo. And one thing that he did that I thought was very loving and caring, we got there early, and there were balls that the players would hit into the stands sometimes, and also they would give balls away. I saw young Ajane at that time. He must have had about 2 or 3 baseballs, and usually that's a prized possession for a young man, okay? I saw Ajane give some of the balls that he had gathered, he gave them to other kids. And that always impressed me. I wish I would have told him about that, okay? Some of you may know Ajane had a very hard life. He had a life that he didn't ask for, but it was the one that he had. And I think now that this must have had a profound effect on that young fella in his life. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. He had a death by suicide. Well, it'll be 2 years coming up this February. And I think that the pain of being rejected or abandoned in his life was just too much for him to overcome. I'm not going to go into all the details because when you do things like that, there's always a lot of blame that goes around. You blame the victim, you blame this person or that person. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to say that pain of rejection and abandonment is real. I know his grandmother, Queen Cookie Earlene Belcher, my beautiful bride, tried to give him love deep down within her heart. I tried to give him love also, but I believe the love that he really sought was from places that just wasn't coming to him for whatever reason. And a lot of times when you are dealing with pain of feelings and emotions, when you're not receiving what you want to receive, you're going to act out. And I think in my heart, that's what happened to our grandson. The pain was so great he couldn't overcome it, and he thought that he would be better off in a different place. And I hope that with everything I have inside of me, I hope that he is in that better place for himself. Not for us, but for him, okay? Because none of us has the right to judge anyone else. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I do my exercises right under in my basement, there's a tapestry of Ajane with 4 pictures of him in each picture. One picture that stands out in my mind is a picture of him wearing a t-shirt with praying hands on it that says, "Only God can judge." Now, all you folks that are religious, save it. I'm not going there with that, okay? But I'm saying to you, that's what gives me comfort when I think about my grandson. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Getting back to the young man that I know and love. When he was in prison, we wrote letters back and forth to each other, okay? He had some deep feelings and emotions going on inside of him, and I would try to guide him as best that I could, okay? As a matter of fact, when he wrote me this one letter, he said, "Hello, Grandpa, my old and wise grandpa." Well, I guess that made me feel good, but also I have to remember something. At this time, he was maybe early 20s or something, and I have to remind myself that even at that time, I might have been in my 60s or whatever. Well, yeah, 60s. He looks at things through his eyes. And I have to remember that I can't put the knowledge and the wisdom that I've gained in my life, I can't force that into him. He's going to do things his way. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay because he deserved a good life without the garbage. But it just appears that the garbage piled up too much on him. Like I said when I started this thing, I love him, I miss him, and I wish that he was here with us, okay? And I'm going to say one more time, because I know how people are when they hear other people speak about others, they start to get the shame and the guilt. They should have did this, did that, or whatever. Now, I can't stop anybody from doing that. But all I can say is that grief is something that's hard to bear. I've watched my beautiful bride, and I've watched myself. There are some things that you'll never get over. See, this thing is out of order. As a grandparent, you're not supposed to bury your grandchildren. They're supposed to bury you. And it's out of order, and it'll always be out of order when it comes to something like this. Love your children, love your grandchildren. Sometimes they can't return that love, but that's okay. You keep giving it to them. You keep giving it to them every day that you can. You may not see eye to eye, and that's okay also. You might not agree. And it's time for me to start to wrap this up. And that's okay. But these feelings and emotions, they're deep within me. And I'll always have a love and a respect for my grandson because he deserves it. I love you, AJ. Take care. DB Belcher, out.
Hi, I'm Miss Well, I'm AJ's aunt and sister to his mom, who passed also, Johanna. It's been a long ride dealing with, not one suicide or two, and, two. For me, the first one was a hard hit, and just dealing with, I became angry, and, she bestowed a lot of responsibility for me with her children. And I think I did well with Abishai and Aiden, but with AJ, I carry a lot of guilt that maybe I failed a little bit because I was going through my own stuff, and AJ was fun. He was a good person. He never had a chance. I feel like he never had a chance. My family, is Hispanic and white, and they didn't know how to embrace him because he was black, and I just feel like he never really had a chance, and no one ever showed him that unconditional love that he wanted. And I'll tell y'all, I was that selfish too, and I look back on it, and if I would have just showed him more love and embraced him more as a person and understood him, that maybe he'd still be here. I carry a lot of guilt for that nobody knows what you've been through till you walk through his shoes. I mean, this kid had been in foster care, and parents, both not real stable with their relationships and so forth, and doing things, not really being parents, and I had a chance to do for that for him, and I feel like I did it. And his death has just changed me and just really showed me that what was wrong with me too, and it's taught me that I don't care who you are. I meet people every day. I drive taxi and I hear their stories, and, and I just try to see myself as them. And, I should have done that more with my own nephew. He lived here with me here a couple months, and, I wasn't used to his whole, loud, outrageous music and all that. And it made me afraid because I really didn't get to know him. And it's sad. It's just sad that it had to go down that way. But I'm grateful, though, because it taught me something. And my journey is going to be different because I'm always going to have him in the back of my mind of teaching me how to love people better and just, picture myself differently and not be so selfish of thinking of me, and think more about what they've been through and just be more loving and love on more people. AJ had that kind of soul. I mean, I took him to church with me. He could pray with people and everything. He was a good boy in his heart. It just, life was too much for him. And I've been guilty of saying, suicide is a selfish death. But you know what? I think all of us at a time or two in our life have been that low and thought about that. And, you just don't know. You just don't know till, like I said, you've walked in their shoes. So, AJ, hopefully you're watching over us. We love you. And thank you, son. Thank you for changing me. I love you.
I'm Abishai Adamus. I am AJ's first younger sister. I don't know. I don't want to cry. AJ meant a lot to me, and I don't think maybe he did. I don't know. I think he went out not knowing that I did because I was very cold to him before everything, and I was very selfish and didn't. I wasn't there for him like I really should have been because I wasn't ready to deal with his issues because I had my own issues. And yeah, like I was just being very selfish in my own mind and not being, I was like 22 and just not dealing with anybody else's crap. So, but I should have been there when I should have, instead of cutting him off like I did. So always be there for people when you should be, because you never know when they're gonna go. Yeah. All this just really sucks. It still sucks to this day.
Oh, AJ's a brother of mine. We grew up together, and man, we've been through everything together. So we broke up after a few years just because he moved and I moved, but that never changed. We came out together. Just, let me put it like that. But that's my brother, and sucks where it ended up, but I know he up in heaven looking down, you know.
I'm Daniel Rivera, the owner of Media Luna. One of the many places that AJ used to come to downtown. Actually, he was here most of the time. Good friends with all of us, different people down here, and he was what we call the river rat. We're all river rats. If you work downtown, you're a river rat, and my bar is actually it's known, and it's pretty much all full of river rats. And anytime we had a problem or anything, you know, we used to come together and help each other out. And AJ had a little bit of a tough time, you know, adjusting down here, but we all helped him out. We try to do the best that we can for each other. But he always had a smile. He always was optimistic about things. The last day I saw him was the day a few hours before his tragedy. I didn't have a bartender that day, and I was opening up the bar, and what's it called? I asked him, I was like, "What's wrong with you?" And he goes, I was in jail last night. And I go, "What happened?" And honestly, I can't remember exactly the story that happened, but I was like, "Don't even worry about it." He goes, I don't want to get in trouble anymore. I don't want to go back there. I was like, "Well, tomorrow's a better day." It just got paid that day. He asked me to cash his check, but I didn't have enough money in the door, and he went to go cash his check. And I remember the girl he was dating at the time. He goes, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go buy her." He bought her a piece of jewelry or something, I think a necklace or something like that. And he came back, had a couple of hypnotic drinks. That was what he drank at the time, and he's like, "I'm just waiting for my girlfriend." You know, they told me I was coming to work because I haven't had any sleep. I was like, "Well, go get some sleep." And this night, and he goes, I don't know what the issue was, but he was like, "I'm just trying to get home." I was like, "Go get home." I was like, "You look like crap. I'll see you tomorrow night." I told my dad, and he was like, all right, I'll see you later. I remember he took me $20 that day, and then around late night that night, we got all these Facebook messages that he had passed, and like everybody, like from one of his good friends that comes to the bar, Beto Mendoza, was here. He's like, "You hear?" I was like, "Yeah, you guys have heard." So some of the people from here from the bar went down to his funeral, and he was one of us. He was a river rat. We're all river rats, and he was a special one. He was it's a nice little party. I'm not gonna lie, and it's funny because I'll be honest with you. One time there was a fight out here, and he saw the guy outnumbered. They didn't know the guy. And he jumped in for the guy. And I was like, "What are you doing? You know him?" And he goes, I remember he was like, no, but it's not fair. It's not fair. It's fucked up. It's not fair. And I told him, I was like, "Dude, you're going to get in trouble." And he's like, "Nah, I don't care. It wasn't fair." And And the way he looked at it is like, hey, you know, I guess he was a very caring individual. That's all I got to say about him. Not because he's gone or anything, but because it's the truth. You know, every now and then when I'm making my posts to advertise for my bar, I see him on my Facebook, and I'm like, man. Sometimes I'm like, I try to be careful not to tag him in it because I don't want to offend anybody in the family from us tagging him for his advertising. But no, he was on top of my friend list because he was AJ slick, you know, and you know, it was kind of hard to just pass him by and not see, you know. Anyways, that's all we remember. All I remember here. We all remember for a lot of different ways and reasons that, you know. That's pretty much all I got.
My name's Mary. I'm a head server / head trainer here. I knew AJ. He was a good guy. He was a hard worker. He loved his people. If you were with him, he'd give you the shirt off his back. He liked to celebrate life. He was a good person. If you needed anything, he was right there for you.
God motherfucking damn, nigga. I swear, your boy cursed. But nah, this is my fault though. I take full responsibility. But even still though, after what I did, I still put enough effort to show that I apologize and I'm sorry for it. And I do want to be where I'm at. And it was to no effect. Like, yeah, yesterday I didn't show up for work. Well, I was like 20 minutes late. I called and to let them know that I was coming. They ain't fucking let me go. They told me just to stay home and shit. Now I come to work today early than a motherfucker. I see that I'm not even fucking on schedule. Well, not on schedule, off all fucking week now. But still fucking set up everything, set up the tables and all that shit. Server that was supposed to be here was like 5 minutes almost late and shit, but everything I already did for her. And came time, fucking GM came and still sent me home, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even get on the clock. I work for free, you know what I'm saying? I don't work for your company for free just to show, and he still sent me home, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell this nigga like why, or trying to give an excuse, and still you don't even want to fucking listen, you know what I'm saying? Nigga fucking car need to get slapped on the pool, but and fuck it. So now I ain't working all week for that job. I can't work at my other job because my fucking finger, oh my god, when it rains it fucking pours, nigga. Got a little something in my pocket homeboy gave me, so maybe I could try to push that off, get some money in my pocket for the day, you know, get something to eat. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? I always persevere, you know, I'm a king. Struggle to survive. Survive the struggle. So, looking to fuck around and see what to get into. It's raining like, oh, I'm glad. Oh, look, man, it's raining, nigga. These niggas ain't gonna make no money. Fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Fuck them bitch ass niggas. Fuck them. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? What to do, nigga? What to do? It's the San Antonio, man. We up in here live. It's fucking raining low. It's gonna be a boring ass day. I might get picked up right now, so. I wanna make some money, nigga. That's why I don't like going to the bars, nigga, because I waste all my fucking money at the damn bars. But it's hard though, you know what I'm saying? Being on the streets, being where I have to be, I don't want to be at that place, you know what I'm saying? Fucking dirty ass niggas. Gotta stay there because I ain't got no choice. You know what? I'm glad I am the way I am, because one, I know I'm just like my mom, and Even though she passed away, I'm gonna push on her legacy. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't survive. She couldn't make it through the struggles that she went through, whatever. I'm going through the same shit, but even worse. You know what I'm saying? Niggas don't give a fuck. I found out niggas didn't even want me to be born and shit. You know what I'm saying? My mom and her people were raised to fucking to be with white people. You know what I'm saying? My grandpa was white, French. Shit. When she saw me with my dad, that was a disgrace to her blood and shit. You know what I'm saying? When I got pregnant, it was like, oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up, you know. But so after my mom died, basically, you know, finally said, fuck the nigga, you know, fuck this nigga. He ain't got nothing to do with us. It's normal, you know what I'm saying? It's normal being alone. It's normal not caring about your family. You know how it is, nigga. Nigga out here on the lawn thugging. I'm a king, I'm a soldier, man. I gotta survive by myself, man. Fuck these niggas. Fuck two-faced ass people and shit. I hate fake niggas, you know. These females out here be trying to tell the niggas this shit. I hate that shit too when they be doing the other shit. I found a little Saudi, man, that, man, maybe, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even laid her down yet or anything. We just chilling, you know, we just chilling. So, let's see what's up with that. But that's why I was fucked up. That's why I was fucked up, because all my life I've been through this way, and I'm tired of that blindsidedness, man. I'm tired of the fakeness. And here they are looking all good and fucking angels and shit, and I'm looking like the fucking, like the trash of the family. Really, I'm the only real nigga. You know, ain't no bitch in my blood. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no fucking fakeness in my blood. Everyone else is I can say all the family's dysfunctional. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's dysfunctional. Everyone fucked up in the head. I'm fucked up in the head too, but for good reasons. For good damn reason. You know what I'm saying? I told you, Mark, man, I'm fucking want to be killing niggas sometimes, man. These niggas don't pushing me over the edge. But I'm good now, man. I'm kind of mad about this job situation. Should have been working. Yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. You know what? I'm just glad to be here. Be alive and see another day, man. Just gonna keep on stacking my paper, man. Once they do start letting me work again, and I ain't worried about getting another place to stay, man. I just, you know, stay at this little shelter, whatever I gotta do. First, I wanna get a car, man, so I can move around, shoot out to the valley real quick. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with some people over there. Come back. Well, been downtown for a fucking full year. Not even yesterday was the first time I was on the southwest side. It's alright. Be able to move around and shit. This year though, 2017, I tell myself, man, fuck the bullshit. See, like, and it just shows me. It just shows me, man. Like, I just started drinking again a little bit. And here it goes, man. I got some. I gotta face the repercussions of not waking up for work, and now I'm not even on the schedule for the full week. Hopefully the nigga puts me on next week. He gave me one more chance. He says if I don't show up, then that's it. But yeah, I know, G, I know. But I want to know what that $1 million thing you were talking about though was. You need to start something. The Valley Boy Productions or something, man. Oh no, I want to do something. I want to do. Man, nigga ain't. I want to go fishing or something. I ain't never nigga been fishing. What's up? Take me fishing, nigga. Fuck. I need a cigarette. But man, yeah, man, I just want to, you know, keep my head up and everything. God bless. I stay out. I fuck with y'all.
Yeah, Angel Blacks. Tell the ghetto youth them, hold on. One day we'll be free at last. If your mother gone, or your daddy gone, only faith in the Gideon. I know everybody perfect like the money. If you make the millions, strap give me care for enemy plans. My bad charge them where I will remand. One day you'll be free at last. You post like prison wall. Everything we still get the minimal. Society still treat we like criminal. But one day we'll be free at last. Jamaica, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. One day we'll be free at last. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. One day we'll be free at last. Spread your wings and fly away. Freedom come away. Yeah, long rifle and grenade. The system make people afraid. Sufferation from Africa to India. Suicide world this we live in. It's like a sinking sand this we digging. But one day we'll be free. Yeah.
Well, baby, you with the angels now. Part of my ancestors. You gonna watch over Grandma and everybody out here. Ooh. Oh. He's with his mom now. Joanna. Oh. This concludes Ajane, AJ, Xavier, Jamal, Burt. Rest in peace, baby. All your troubles are over. Rest in peace. I love this baby to life. I want you to hear something. Some things, I can't explain it. I just finished a video telling you guys about me working out. And when I was getting ready to stop, this is the message that I can't explain that's on my phone. I don't know how to get it on there, how to pull it up rather. But what I did was I hit the rewind button. Because it did it one other time before, but I want you to hear it. Please take a listen. This is amazing. I just got back yesterday from visiting his gravesite.
Hey, Grandma, you called. I was working, so I'm about to get off. Just calling you back. You want to talk, whatever, let me know. We'll come back.
I don't know how it does it. It was comforting. Hope you heard it. Can't explain it. Bye. Just jumped up on my phone. I didn't press no buttons.